All right, everyone, we're joined by head coach Pat Noonan following tonight's match. Coach, if you just want to start with your thoughts on the win.
Very pleased with the performance. We were a better team tonight than we showed on the weekend, and I'm happy for the guys that they were rewarded for it.
Being the question, we'll start with Laurel.
What was it like just having that 3-goal lead and being able to see that out when maybe you haven't been able to do that in the past?
We played the game in a better way with the lead, and was it perfect? No, there were tough moments when we had to defend, and we had to defend good movement, good 1v1 ability on the ball, and I thought our guys were up for it and made a lot of big plays in the right moments and scored some good goals. It's not easy to beat a team of that quality with the form that they're in, and to score 3 and get a shutout, I'm very pleased about that.
Seemed like the team defense was just really strong. You could see the communication and guys shifting and kind of directing each other. Was that, I'm guessing that was part of the game plan, but how much of that was just player-led, wanting to make sure that the team was back to playing like a team?
Every game should entail communication and working together. It doesn't matter who you're playing, when you're playing, and when you do it at a good level, you position yourself to get results, and we did that tonight. So I don't think there's been a lack of communication in other games. Maybe what we're saying, how we're saying in the right moment, that's the difference. And so I don't look just at the result and say, okay, these guys all of a sudden communicated in a better way, and it hasn't been the case. We communicated the right things because you could see the movements, the spacing to try to limit their attack was strong. Again, it wasn't perfect. There were moments where they put us under pressure, and then in those moments we defended the box the right way. So I think the energy was there, and you could see the guys wanted to respond in a good way, and they did.
Start with Carter.
Pat, congratulations on the result.
Thank you.
It seemed like, from the very beginning, and you mentioned that they had opportunities and it's a quality team on the other side of you, but from throughout the entire game, you were able to kind of take the game away from them with your possession and the way you were structured to respond whenever there was it going the other way. How were you able to accomplish that, and what did you like about that part of the game?
I think how we moved the ball at times to get certain players on the ball to allow certain movements off the ball was we did that in a good way. And when we could find space, I think we could have been even more urgent in some moments, but I like the way when we found central areas to get Evander on the ball, Dotto on the ball, Pavel advancing, Kai with his back to goal. We supported it in a good way, and we were able to run to goal with a lot of space and make them uncomfortable at times. So I think you could see also there was fatigue in some legs. So you had to be sure of the moments that you wanted to attack with numbers, attack with speed, because they could hit you quick in transition. But I think the guys behind the ball, like we said, the communication, how we moved together allowed us to then have a presence higher up the field at times, and when that was broken, we defended deep in the right way.
The subs who came on particularly late, guys like Alvis, Teenage, seemed to make a really strong impact from the moment they got into the game. What did you make of your subs tonight, guys like Alvis, Teenage, but also Corey, Sergio, and Brad?
They had the impact on the game that we needed. Teenage is dealing with balls over the top with good speed with Allende, with Fafa when he came on, and I thought he handled those moments in an excellent way, not conceding corners, not just conceding throw-ins. There was a couple moments where he was able to collect the ball, and we were able to try to play. Alvis on the other side, a couple recovery runs where we see him out for goal kicks. That's the physical presence, the speed that they bring in moments where they're looking to play behind. So both of them were very strong. I thought it's a game sometimes where you just need fresh legs to be able to get to the ball. And with Corey, with Brad, all the guys who came on, I thought we got that out of them.
We'll go to Cameron and then to Tito.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, thanks for the time as always. Just with Kevin obviously being out tonight, when did he sustain that injury, and kind of how long do you anticipate him being out for?
He injured it roughly 20 minutes into the game against Columbus, and hasn't been injured before. I don't think he understood maybe what he had going on. So he tried to continue playing. I think, when I look back at the game, maybe there was hesitation or limitations there. So it's a lesson for us and for Kevin moving forward. But the extent of it, a couple weeks hopefully, but I don't have certainty on that.
Yeah, and then just on tonight's game, obviously you've talked about Evander a lot over the last few weeks, but just getting that brace, kind of, what'd you see from him tonight, especially in the second half? And then, I know this isn't at the top of your minds, but the MVP race, doing that against one of the other front runners. Just your thoughts.
I thought in the moments where we were able to get him on the ball, where he could run to goal, better movement off the ball. Dado's goal, it's the timing, it's him advancing with the ball and waiting to the right moment to release it. And so, I thought he did that in a good way tonight. And then just being in positions where when we're attacking, he's not dropped off in we've talked about this before, in spaces where it doesn't have him in positions to make plays in front of goal. So the first one, I know we're looking to play it across, a little bit of fortune maybe with how it gets into his path, but the reason it gets into his path is because of his feel for how to make a touch or how to use his body or how to attack space. And then he's free and he scores a goal. So that's why he needs to be in those spots for us. The second one is foul. It's simple. This goes back to when you were a kid. Follow a shot. That's simple. And so Luka does a good job to get on his strong foot and find his shot, and he's in the right spot to finish it off and tap it in. Simple. That's not like high-level stuff, but it's when you think the game and when you're in the right spots, you make plays.
We'll go to Tito and then to Charlie.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations for the result. This is Goal Cincinnati, Spanish media. ¿Por qué el equipo de Cincinnati, cuando tiene un resultado favorable de 1 o 2 sobre el rival, entra en una desesperación que a veces termina regalando el partido o entra en nerviosismo, como hubo un momento en el partido de hoy con el 2-0? Parecía que podía meter el equipo rival un gol, como pasó el pasado sábado contra Columbus, 2-0, y terminó perdiendo.
Coach, being up 1 goal, 2 goals in the game tonight, did any moment any sort of worry set in, like the result from this past Saturday?
No, you trust your players in the moment. You trust the decisions you're going to make to play with a lead. It doesn't always work out. It didn't work out on the weekend, and tonight we were better as far as managing a lead and managing the game. So every game's different. Tonight we showed a better way of playing with the lead and still being able to attack to find another goal. So that was improvement.
We'll go to Charlie and then to Damon.
One of the big ovations tonight when DeAndre came off. What stood out from what he put together tonight, Pat?
You knew he was going to be up for it, but he's always up for it. I think he can control his emotions in a way to go and perform. Yes, this is his former team, and he's got relationships, and he wants to perform, but he didn't try to do too much. I think he connected simple passes at the right time. I think defensively, understanding his responsibilities of when to release, to Alba, when to stay a little bit deeper at times. Just game understanding, and trying to do his job the best he can. So, you're always going to get the effort, and then can you put him in a position on both sides of the ball to stand out? And so, that was a typical DeAndre performance.
Go to Damon here.
Coach, this is the first clean sheet the team has had in a while. How important was it that they could keep that clean sheet, especially against an offense that has Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi?
I would say it's probably good in the moment because we have conceded goals late. And like anything, you do something well, can you continue to do it well? Not think that we've mastered it. It's okay, it's going to be a different game on the weekend. And if we're fortunate enough to have a lead, what does it look like on the road against a different team? So, we're going to see Miami again here shortly, and they'll be up for it. It's not going to be easy, and we have to be up for it because every game requires different ways to stand out as a group, and hopefully we can carry a solid defensive performance into the weekend, or we're talking about something different. So like anything, you try to gain confidence and momentum in the things that you do well, and find consistency with it. So yeah.
We'll go to Justin and then to Gus.
Yes, Pat. I mean, Evander is going to get all the credit for his brace tonight, but Luca Orosano was very instrumental in 2 of the goals tonight. I know he's been struggling this season a little bit to get goals, but can you speak on like how Orosano, like how critical it is for him to show up big matches like this?
Yeah, it is important, because I think he's had some good moments, some tougher moments. He had the stretch where he has a good impact in a couple games, and then he there was a little bit of drop. Physically, I know he was after he couldn't go the game after he scored, I believe was what it was, and so then you try to find the form again because you miss a little bit of time. But for Luka, it's not pushing too hard to try to impact the game. Let the game come to you at the right moment. So it came to him in the right moment with his pass to Evander across the face of the goal. It came to him in the right moment when he gets on his strong foot and he's able to attack 1v1 to find his shot. It's not forcing the issue. And when he's patient and when he plays the game in a simple way, he has a big impact almost always. And that's, I think, where maybe some of the struggle is trying too hard, too often, and then and when it doesn't work out, then the frustration can build. So tonight he was simple and he was rewarded, and our team was rewarded.
And we'll wrap up with a question from Gus.
Coach, good evening. Gus Ochoa, Castillo Deportivo, Indianapolis. You mentioned about, the fatigue, some players being tired. A few weeks you're going to be facing again some international competition. How is the team prepared? How is physically conditioned to face these back-to-back games that you are having coming up?
Yeah, you always look at the week, especially when you have a midweek game. How do you manage it? How do you stay fresh? It's tough. It's not easy to run in these conditions, and I don't want to make excuses. At least we're sitting here off of a win, but physically it takes its toll on these guys. We have to understand that across the league, some of these environments that you're playing in, some of the venues, the markets, it's tough, and so you have to manage the game. You can't have a game that's open and in transition, because I think it's asking too much of guys, and there's too much risk in that. So you have to be more calculated. You have to be good with the ball in the right moments. You have to attack with speed in the right moments. You have to attack together and defend together all the time, or the game will become hard. So we look at how we manage them always, and how do we stay fresh, and how do we approach each game so that we can have the right intensity and the best possible group to go out and win a game. So we'll see how we recover. It's going to be a difficult turnaround, but Salt Lake's playing in Portland. It's going to be tough for them too. We got to figure it out, but we'll see how guys come out of it, and we'll see what adjustments we need to make, if any, and then try to go and have the right energy to go and perform on the road.
Pat, thank you very much.